Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today what I'm going to be bringing you is my reasons why I think Bradford City should be doing everything in their powers to keep hold of Callum Cooke. Now if you do go on to enjoy today's video, a like as always will be massively appreciated. If you could try and hit 60 likes on today's video, that'd be absolutely class. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Do you think Callum Cooke is a player that we should be retaining? The only real way that I can go about this is by statistics. So we've got a very in-depth analysis of Callum Cooke this season, and this is why I think he should be retained. I don't think he will be, especially with what's been going on social media and with his tweet that he put out the other day. It does seem like he unfortunately hasn't been offered a contract extension. Now it does make sense in the terms that Mark Hughes hasn't really played him all too much. You know, he played a little bit at the start against Forest Green and Hartlepool when he was one of the best performances I've ever seen from an attacking midfielder. That game against Hartlepool, he absolutely ran the show in that game. He had a bit of a poor game against Port Vale though when he got completely marked out of the game, and he's not really played all too much since. But make sure you drop a like on today's video, subscribe if you are new as well, and let's get into it. So Callum Cooke has been with the football club for 3 years now. The first year he was on loan from Peterborough under Gary Bowyer for the majority of that season. He played in a 4-4-2 as a central midfielder with Matty Palmer, Hope Akpan, whoever was really available. He played as like a number 6, you could call it. So in that 19-20 season, he played 25 league matches, scoring 0 goals, assisting once, picking up 5 yellow cards and 1 red card. Then in the 2020-21 season, this was under McCall for a little bit, then Truman and Sellers came in. He played 34 league matches, scoring 3 goals, getting 9 assists, 2 yellow cards and 0 red cards. And then this season under Derek Adams and Mark Hughes, he's played 41 matches. I believe only 28 of those have been starts, and on average he's only played 65 minutes this season per game. He scored 2 goals, 7 assists, 6 yellows and 0 red cards. So he's definitely starting to pick up a lot more bookings this season compared to last season. Scored 1 less goal, got 1 more assist at the time of recording. Obviously we've got tomorrow's game against Carlisle, but more than likely we'll probably go with Jamie Walker in that number 10 sort of role. So I don't see Callum Cooke playing tomorrow. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is Callum Cooke's key passes, because when he's been playing, he's been absolutely unbelievable. Now, the definition of a key pass, according to Google, is the final pass or a pass come shot leading to the recipient of the ball having an attempt on goal without scoring. So, this season, by September the 10th, 2021, the most key passes per match in League 2 was Callum Cooke with 4.0. The next best was David Ferguson with 2.8. So, he was absolutely flying right at the start of the season when he was playing. Obviously, we were fantastic in that first month under Derek Adams. Then, by December the 2nd, no player in the top 4 tiers of English football, so that's including players like Kevin De Bruyne, some of the best creative players in the Premier League. No player in the top 4 tiers of English football has made more key passes in their respective league this season than Callum Cooke. That stat was obviously at 59. Then he had a little bit of a period out of the squad in November, December sort of time. So then by February the 7th, just before Derek Adams was sacked as Bradford City manager, the most key passes in League 2 this season, Callum Cooke had dropped down to second. Giovanni Brown was then leading the race with 79. But even still, Callum Cooke was there on 74. And we also, by now, on the 30th of March, which is the latest one that I could find at the end of the season, the most key passes per game was Callum Cooke with 2.4. The only 2 players above him was Nicky Cadden with 2.5 and Giovanni Brown, with 2.9. If you have a look at some of his best matches this season, highlighted here is Walsall at home. That match was played, obviously, on the 4th of September 2021. His passing accuracy was 93.5%. He had 72 touches, 7 accurate crosses, 6 key passes. That is absolutely absurd to have 6 key passes in a game, 2 tackles, such a classy operator. Then he also, when he played in that game against Scunthorpe on the 27th of November, he had a 76.5 passing accuracy, which is obviously a lot lower, but that game was so scrappy and he was hardly involved in the game whatsoever. He attempted 12 crosses, 7 key passes in that game. Think about the only goal that we scored against Scunthorpe was from a set piece. I believe Callum Cooke did assist that. and he made 7 key passes, and we only scored 1 goal from that. He tells you everything you need to know about our finishing this season. He also had 3 interceptions, 3 shots. He was fouled twice, and he got 1 assist in that game as well. If we compare some of his statistics this season to some of the other players at the football club, Jamie Walker and Charles Vernon are the 2 players I decided to compare him with. This season, Callum Cooke has played 41 matches, starting 28 of them. He's had 5 Team of the Week appearances. Compared to Jamie Walker, he's played 18 matches, starting 14, and he has has had 1 team of the week. And then Charles Vernam as well has played 27 matches, starting 18, and he has had 3 appearances in the team of the week. If you have a look at key passes, Charles Vernam averages 1.0 per game. Jamie Walker averages 1.1 per game. And then Callum Cooke averages 2.3 per game as well. If we compare each player's passing accuracy, Callum Cooke has an 84% passing accuracy per game. Jamie Walker has a 77% passing accuracy per game. And then Charles Vernam has a 78% passing accuracy per game. So more than likely, Callum Cooke is going to be the better to be able to keep the ball, but maybe you could say you would expect that from a player playing in a slightly more defensive role. He's more likely to do maybe sideways or backwards passes, which usually would be pretty easier. If we have a look at even some of the successful dribbles, Callum Cooke has a 50% success dribble rate. Jamie Walker has a 40% dribble rate. It says 43% of Charles Vernam's dribbles are successful. So in terms of that, you would probably presume that it would be Vernam, Walker, then Cooke, because Cooke isn't the quickest. That is one of his downsides to Callum Cooke. You know, he's not the fastest. He'll put a shift in for you, but because he's not the quickest, it sometimes doesn't look like he's putting in as much of a shift as Jamie Walker. Jamie Walker, I think, just slightly edge him in terms of work rate, because you always see Jamie Walker sprinting, whether it's minute 1 or minute 90, to close down a defender and stop maybe a long ball being played. Vernam, you don't really see him doing all that all too much, but for me personally, Callum Cooke does always, you know, put in a shift, and he does do very well. If we have a look at touches, Callum Cooke averages 45.4 touches per game. Jamie Walker averages 39.2 touches per game, and then Charles Vernam averages 32.8 touches per game. So you could maybe argue that maybe he's a little bit greedier on the ball, or you could also, playing devil advocate, you could also make the point of view that he wants to get on the ball and he wants to create things. So for me personally, I think Callum Cooke is a fantastic player just off of comparing them stats alone. Granted, it is just statistics, and football isn't based on statistics, but it's the best way that I can get my point across of why I think Callum Cooke should be retained. Like I said earlier, I don't think he will be with the tweet that got put out. You know, according to this statistic, he's the 5th best performing attacking midfielder in the league. Some of them players aren't even going to be in the league next season as well, if you think of like some Matt J. I think if we don't offer Callum Cooke a new contract, he'll either go to someone like a Salford, because they can afford to pay, you know, them sort of wages. I think he probably is on one of the higher earners from the football club. You know, he was at Peterborough, a very decent side. They do pay some decent wages to Peterborough, so he's not going to come for pennies. Or he'll end up going to a League One side, maybe someone like a Lincoln or a Fleetwood, something like that. I think he would do very well at. I don't think he can quite get into a high-end League One, not yet. I think he's still got the potential to do that. He's still only young. Is Callum Cooke, if we have a look at his age, he is 25. Jamie Walker is a lot older than that though. Jamie Walker's 28, turning 29 in a month or two time as well. So in terms of average rating this season as well, Callum Cooke has averaged a 7.12, Jamie Walker has averaged a 6.95, and Charles Vernam's averaged a 7.03 according to SofaScore. So if we have a look at positions played as well, Charles Vernam's played left wing and right wing. Jamie Walker has played left mid, right mid, attacking midfielder and right wing. That will also contribute towards his Hearts game time as well. And then Callum Cooke this season has played as a DM, centre mid or an attacking midfielder. According to SofaScore, his strengths are passing and playmaking, which I would definitely agree with, and his weaknesses are aerial duels, which yeah, I would also agree with. You know, unless he's really up for it and something like he's got the adrenaline pumping, you don't really see Callum Cooke lunging into tackles like we see Jamie Walker do, which is something that you could maybe say Jamie Walker is slightly better at, which I wouldn't say I disagree with whatsoever. And then Charles Vernam as well. Definitely not a player who's going to go around putting in, you know, not two-footed tackles, but going to be putting in the hard-hitting sort of tackles during a campaign. But anyway, there we have it. There are my thoughts on why I think Callum Cooke should be retained at Bradford City by all costs. Now, once again, let me reiterate, I know football isn't played in stats, and he obviously has pros, cons, which other players don't have. If it was up to me, I would keep Walker and Cooke. Why would you not want squad depth? But I think more than likely, Callum Cooke probably will move on. I'm getting that sort of impression. I presume the return list will be announced on Monday, so I will be able to react to that if it does get announced on Monday. But thank you very much for watching today's video. If you did go on to enjoy, please make sure you drop a like on it. 50 likes would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already. Drop a comment in as well down in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Callum Cooke? Obviously, he's not played all too much under Mark Hughes, so, you know, if we think about the best games that he has had, like your Hartlepool, your Walsall, your Scunthorpe, these sort of games where he has really impressed, for me personally, I think it's a no-brainer to keep him. But thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I shall see you all tomorrow for the Carlisle vlog. Peace.